Hi everybody, this is my March 2018 online stamp club project, and the technique this month is a simple one, but it's stunning. It's called the Watercolor Wash. Really easy and a great way to make beautiful backgrounds for your cards and other projects. So I have decided to focus on these colors, which are soon retiring. I'm using Peekaboo Peach, Emerald, Envy, and Dapper Denim. So I'm just going to open them up. You also need your ink refills in the same colors. So again, I've got Peekaboo Peach, Emerald, Envy, and Dapper Denim. Now, I've already been playing with this technique earlier, so I still have puddles of ink on my the lids of my ink pads, but I'll show you what I did. I just squeezed just a drop of ink onto the lids, just like that. I didn't put much on that one because there's quite a bit of ink already on that lid. Same with the blue one, but so you see you just need just a tiny little dollop of ink refill. The other key component to this technique is using our watercolor cardstock and our aqua painters. So there's already water in here. I am just going to, first of all, I like to squeeze it on my hand, make sure it's coming out. And then I just do a light wash of water right onto that cardstock. Also good to have a little piece of paper towel next to you. I'm going to squeeze some of the water from the aqua painter into that ink and just wipe it on. So you're just creating a beautiful wash that you can keep as soft as you like or as intense as you like, depending on what you're going for. Then I'm going to go back and forth on my paper towel, go into my emerald green, and wash that on. And I'm going right on top of some of that Peekaboo Peach as well. The more water you squeeze onto your paper, the more of that water wash you're going to get. And into the Dapper Denim. Such a gorgeous blue. These are all beautiful colors. So there's a real easy, beautiful background. Now, of course, this has to dry before you go ahead and stamp on it. So I'm going to set that aside. So for the second card, again, and make sure your aqua painter is clean, just do a water wash all over the front of that paper. Picking up my Peekaboo Peach and going into the center. Just like that. Clean my brush, go into the emerald green. This is going to go on the bottom. And Dapper Denim is going to go on the top. And I'm blending that Dapper Denim into that Peekaboo Peach. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And then for the last card, I'm adding water again, so you can see how quick these come together. I like to do all my washes first, let them dry, and then I can go ahead and play. So, Peekaboo Peach, and I'm just scribbling it right on. And you know what, we'll go into the Dapper Denim, scribble that on. I'm squeezing my aqua painter on this one to get lots of water, and then my emerald green. Letting them blend together. Going to that aqua, going a little bit into the Peekaboo Peach. So that's really beautiful. So I'm going to let those dry naturally, but you could also use your heat tool, but just make sure they're really dry before you start stamping. Okay, here are my pieces. They're nice and dry. This is the last one we did, which is actually my favorite. I love that. This is the first one that we did. And then this is the one we did in the landscape. So now these are ready to stamp on. So because I'm using my photopolymer, I'm going to be stamping on my paper piercing mat. I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper on top of that. And we're going to stamp on the first one, and I want the blue down on the bottom. The stamp set I'm using today is an oldie but a goodie. It's Butterfly Basics. This is one of my all-time very favorite stamp sets. And I've already been using this stamp, so it's already mounted on my block. Link it up really well. Okay, just stamping it nice and firmly. Isn't that pretty? So of course you don't need to color in that stamp because you've got that beautiful background. I'm also using the Watercolor Wings stamp set for these cards. I'm using this sentiment on the card, "The little moments with you matter a lot to me." Again, inking that up with my Memento ink. Isn't that beautiful? Now the card base is Emerald Envy, and I've already taken the stamps in this set. I've used this one, and I used this little flower, and that's it. And I stamped them in first mark, just to create a bit of a background. So I'm taking my snail adhesive. A little bit of white for the inside. This is just computer paper that I cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And there you have it. A very beautiful and very fast cards. These would be great to mass produce, and everybody would just be amazed with how beautiful they are. So there's card number 1. Now card number 2 is using this one with the Sheltering Tree stamp set. So you can tell I use this stamp a lot. It's a bit stained, but that's all right. I'm going to ink that up. I chose to use the same color of inks and paper for all 3 cards, because if you're just, on a budget and you just maybe don't have a whole lot of supplies, this is a great way to make different cards just using the same inks and cardstock. So now I'm just stamping my tree, and the end of it's coming off the paper just a bit, but that's a-okay. You see? That's gorgeous. Now I'm stamping a sentiment from the same set. This is Thankful for You. How easy is that? I've just decided I'm also going to use these birds in the High Tide stamp set. I use these birds for so many cards. This is one of my best stamps, most well used stamp. And I'm going to stamp some birds on there. Isn't that gorgeous? So of course, those of you that are making these cards at home, if you don't have the same stamp sets, just use what you have. Just have fun. But you can see how we've kind of created the grass and a bit of a sunset and then the sky. Okay, I have a piece of Peekaboo Peach, and I already ran this through the Big Shot using the Seaside embossing folder. And again, everybody in my club receives everything that's pre-cut and run through the Big Shot already. So all you have to do is the stamping and adhering everything together. And of course the technique. This is Dapper Denim. That's going to go right on there. And I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to put this watercolor piece on. And there's the finished card. Really fast and easy and stunning. Gorgeous. Time for the last card. Okay, so to finish the card, I have my pieces pre-cut. So this is a piece of Designer Series paper from the Myths and Magic Specialty Designer Series paper pack. That's out of the 2018 Occasions catalog. And that's got the Dapper Denim in it, which is the color that we used here. And then I'm using a piece of Petal Passion Designer Series paper, also from the Occasions catalog, and a piece of Peekaboo Peach. And the reason why I'm incorporating some black is because I have a beautiful butterfly cut from the Butterflies dies out of the basic black cardstock. So I wanted all my colors to coordinate. So I'm going to set those aside and just put this card together. I know that's really pretty too with the sparkles on the back, but the other side is pretty too. So we've got our emerald green card base. This is going to go on like this. And this is just going to go right on top of that layer there. So now we're going to stamp our sentiment. The sentiment is from the Watercolor Wings. This is the set that we used on the first card when we used this sentiment here. But now we're going to use You Are So Kind. Okay, I'm inking that up with the black Memento ink. Now I haven't used this stamp yet, so I'm just going to make sure it's, yeah, it's good. Okay. Okay, beautiful sentiment. So I'm again using my dimensionals to put this onto my card. I'm using all the bits and pieces here. Okay, that's going to go on right on the front like that. Now I'm going to put a mini stamp dimensional behind the butterfly. I'm going to put a couple on. And I'm just putting on a few rhinestones to finish the butterfly. And then there's that card finished. So here's a recap. There's the first card we made, and the second card, and the last card. So you can see you've got very different cards using exactly the same technique with that watercolor wash. I love this technique. I really hope you do too. And of course it's beautiful in the pinks and reds and all the different colors that we have. So I really hope you enjoyed this month's stamping technique. I know I really did. Thank you for watching. Happy stamping.